how is testosterone made? Now, it's important to understand how testosterone is made, because this can give you a greater understanding in how to optimize your testosterone levels. Because and when you've got an objective to achieve, the best approach, one of the best approaches, is to have as much information to hand as possible. It will it's going to give you better results. Now, I'm going to keep this, it's actually really complicated, so I'm going to keep this really simple and just give you basically how it's done. Now, you have what's called a hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, which, you know, a very scientific-y sounding term. Now, basically, the hypothalamus is like a control center in the brain, like a smart box. It helps to maintain a state of balance in the entire body. Putting it really simply, it functions by sending and receiving messages from the brain to cells and nerves and vice versa. It's biodirectional. Now, the hypothalamus will react to messages and send out the necessary adjustments to the necessary glands or nerves required in order to maintain the balance. It's like basically a control center. Now, what happens is the hypothalamus receives a message from the cells, you know, the blood, or it receives a message to say that testosterone requires a little top up. So what then happens is the hypothalamus releases what's called gonadotropin, to the pituitary gland. Now, the pituitary gland, when it detects that it's received some gonadotropin, it then releases luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. Put simply, luteinizing hormone is basically aimed towards testosterone production. The follicle stimulating hormone is basically directed towards sperm production. Now, if you've got an imbalance or low levels of luteinizing hormone or follicle stimulating hormone, these scientific phrases are a bit of a mouthful. A shortage of these can give you can cause low testosterone. Now, basically, the luteinizing hormone and the follicle stimulating hormone then basically travel through the blood down to the testicles. Now, en route to the testicles, they collect, or they bind to, cholesterol. Of course, the good cholesterol. And cholesterol is the building block of testosterone. Now, they've been telling you for the last 50 years, keep your cholesterol low, don't eat too much cholesterol. And you need, basically, to optimize your testosterone levels, you need cholesterol. Lots of good cholesterol. You need to keep your cholesterol levels topped up. Now, what I do, I'm sidetracking a little here, but what I do, it's a commonly known fact that most of your testosterone is secreted at night. It's released at night time while you're asleep. Of course, that's going to take use up some of your cholesterol. So I have a morning habit. I always eat eggs for my breakfast every single day, 7 days a week. I will eat eggs. Just basically, the logic behind this is it's a good source of cholesterol. Yes, eggs are high in cholesterol, but it's a good source of cholesterol. It used to be thought that eating too many eggs or having high cholesterol was going to give you a heart attack and clog up your arteries, but recent studies have actually shown that the good cholesterol, even saturated fats from good food sources, do not contribute towards heart problems and clogged arteries. It's the bad cholesterol that's actually the culprit. So basically I have a habit, I will top up my cholesterol level each morning because I've been making testosterone while I was asleep. So it's just something that I do. Now, where are we? Oh yeah, our luteinizing hormone and our follicle stimulating hormone are on a journey through the blood down towards the testicles, and they're collecting all of this good cholesterol. Now, in the testicles, you've got Leydig cells and Sertoli cells. Now, the Leydig cells secrete the testosterone. The Sertoli cells basically secrete the androgen binding proteins like albumin protein and sex hormone binding globulin. Now, when the testosterone is made, it then returns to the blood. Then when there is enough present, the cells in the blood will then signal the hypothalamus in the brain, we've got enough, we don't need any more. So then what happens is the hypothalamus will stop releasing gonadotropin to the pituitary gland, and the pituitary gland will stop releasing luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone, and then the process is stopped. Now, of course, now putting this into context, if you're artificially hiking your testosterone levels with performance enhancing drugs, basically what's happening, now that we've got this into context, I've just explained how testosterone is made. When you're basically anabolic steroids, you're using anabolic steroids, there is enough. Anabolic steroids mimic testosterone, so the blood's detecting enough testosterone, maybe even too much, probably too much, but it's detecting enough that no top up is required. So that message is never sent to the hypothalamus. It never releases the gonadotropin. The pituitary gland doesn't receive or detect the gonadotropin and then release the luteinizing hormone and the follicle stimulating hormone. So the whole process just doesn't take place. That's why your natural testosterone production shuts down on steroids. Because this process is not, because there is enough testosterone already in the blood. There's no need. You don't need, your body is detecting, your cells are detecting that you don't need a top up. So the process just never begins. Now, basically, when the testosterone returns to the blood, most of it will be bound to the proteins that were secreted from the Sertoli cells, the albumin bound testosterone, which is, I think I've explained this in another video, but I'll quickly go over it again. Albumin bound testosterone is not bioavailable. It's not available to use right here, right now, but it can be converted into free testosterone. The sex hormone binding globulin protein, the testosterone, the sex hormone binding globulin testosterone, which is more or less 50% of your total testosterone, that kind of regulates the level of free testosterone that's going to be available to your system. Not too much, not too little, nice and balanced out. The remainder of the testosterone that will be produced in your testicles when this process happens, of course, will be free testosterone, which is going to be available for you to use that day. So basically, having an understanding, the whole point of this, I mean, this is basically having an understanding of how this process works can give you a better idea of why not to go down the steroids path, because the steroids will harm your testosterone levels. Now, many people, am I anti-steroids? Am I, I don't agree with them, no, because I'm not anti basically. If you want to use steroids, it's your free choice. Everybody is free to make their own choices. You know, just understand that there'll be a price to pay. Some people might call me, what's the expression, a virtue signaler. Am I a virtue signaler? I could be, but do I give a fuck? No. You know, now I've written a book about everything you can do to optimize and maintain your testosterone levels into old age. There's a link to the video, link to the book in the description of the video down below. I would greatly appreciate it if anyone buys a copy. You will find the book very useful. It's a convenient, handy, quick reference guide. Everything is all in one place. You're not, of course, obliged to buy the book, because I'm going to reveal all my secrets, all my insights in this series of videos completely free. So there's no obligation to buy the book. If you do want to buy the book, it's convenient and will save you a lot of time. Now, if you're interested in all things total equilibrium, you want to reach the full limits of human potential in mind, body and soul, then hit subscribe, because I will be releasing a lot of content and revealing a lot of things and teaching on a lot of things real soon.